The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the April 23rd, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. I'd love to hear from you at 877-927-6648. Now, if you've got a question, but you can't call in, we've got you covered. You can send me an email. Send that off early and send that to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger stand, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We've got kind of a sea of green out here. You got the Dow up 200 points, the S&P's up 47, the NASDAQ 203, 32 for the Russell. Semis are up 82. Treasuries up 180. They're all up about 1% or more than 1% out there. Gold is off 0.6%, $15. Silver is basically flat, down 4 pennies. Trade out at 27.20. Lights Recruit is up 47 cents. Natural gas is flat. 30 Treasury up 13 ticks. Printed out at 114.30 out there. Since I wasn't able to do that 9 o'clock update, let's just go ahead and do that 9 o'clock. I mean 11 o'clock update. Let's just go to that 9-panel market update chart out there. We'll begin by taking a look at the ES Mini. What do we know about it? Well, that's yesterday. It actually confirmed a buy the D point pattern. It's actually a Gartley buy pattern. It generated a bull sash candle. And then there is a new profile that formed. That new profile has got support at 50.22 and resists at 51.39. If we take a look at the spot volatilics, it's trading below its 50-day exponential moving average. We talked about yesterday. Price got down to that, and thank you to Garo, that parabolic SAR. Really works pretty well out here for the spot volatility index. I'm not saying it doesn't work well elsewhere. It's just one of the things and one of the tools I do have on the spot VIX index out there, and it tagged that and suggested we had lower. Now, if we get back inside its Bollinger Band, this is a 50-to-1 Bollinger Band reading, and that would be below 1644. Let me make sure I've got that correctly. Yeah, 1644. We're likely going to go tag the 50-day exponential moving average at 1518. If we do that, we should see this rally extend itself. In the case of the NQ, we do not have any kind of bottoming signal out here, pattern-wise. But what we do have is a new profile. And this new profile that's attempting to form is bearish in structure. It has shifted a few times during the day. Won't know until this evening or tomorrow morning what the actual profile is, even if it does form out there. But right now, we go with the data that we have. And the data that we have says there's a resistance zone. And the zone is between 17,810 and 18,089. U.S. dollar index is just trading with inside its bearish structure daily profile. But it closed below the center of that profile today at 105.78, increases the odds of a move back to support. And support would be the bottom of that profile, and that would be at 104.71. Now, that may help gold and silver out, may not. We've had we really don't have that inverse relationship that we typically have out there, but nonetheless, we'll still be aware of that. What gold has done is found support at the bottom of its bullish structured profile. And that key level out there to watch is 23.18. If we see a close below that, we will have a profile change in trend, and that most certainly will suggest lower price. In the case of silver, it's still below the bottom of its daily profile. On a second close today, above 27.55, gives you a daily profile and change in trend. But right now, support appears to be the top of the weekly profile, and that's up at the 26.56 level. So 26.56 is really the area to be watching and observing should silver move lower. If you take a look at light sweet crude, light sweet crude out here, we got the wrong contract, so it'd help if we put the correct contract up there. Sorry about that. Boy, oh boy, Stevie, pay attention. So now we take a look at light sweet crude. It is traded a bit higher. I believe it's still within inside its profile. Brand new profile that is attempting to form out here. Now this profile is formed below the prior profile, so it tells us that the trend is to the downside. But nonetheless, you can easily get a counter trend move that takes you up to 83.84. In fact, it's a bullish structured profile, and that says that if we do get a close today above 81.95, anticipate a move to 83.84. In the case of natural gas, just a consolidation with inside its profiles. That's between 196 and 209. The same thing goes with the 30-year Treasury, which has a buy the D point bottom. It's got a bullish structured profile. It is trying to get above that center level at 114.26. And should it do that, we should see a move up to 116.10. So that's the overview of the general markets. Normally what we do at 11 o'clock, but since I wasn't able to get to that, I thought we would go ahead and do that right away. So now where do we want to go? Well, let's go take a look at the daily equity future contracts. Let's do that first. Give me a moment. We'll change screens. First, I want to get there. Daily equity future contracts. Now we're going to change our screens. We'll see the white background screens out there, and then you'll see the patterns that I had already referred to with regard to the ES Mini. Yesterday, you had a nice little bull sash candle out there. That confirmed that buy the D point pattern out here, and now you can see that new profile. A new profile, again, resistance up at 51.39. We can see that the oscillator and change line changed colors from green to red. So here's a clear indication. If this is just a counter trend move, what you will see is you will see price get up to that 51.39 area and then turn its way back down. And that would actually be bearish signal, but you can't get bearish until now you close below the bottom of the buy the D point pattern, which is going to be the low from April 19th. That low 49.6350. So right now there was a question to the den. Is this the beginning of a move higher out there? It was really more than that. Z, I don't where did you post that? Sorry, I don't see it, but it was something along those lines. Out there is the beginning of a further rally. Well, first price has got to take out resistance when we take a look at ES Mini. And so until that happens, really, we don't know. But at this stage here, I'm going to go with the answer is no, especially with the spot volatility, although it's falling, still being above the 50-day exponential moving average. Now, we take a look at that NQ out there. What you'll see is you do not see any kind of a bottoming pattern out there. The TD9 count is not really in play. As we speak right now. The only way that gets in place, we've got a spike below the low from 2 days ago. But there is new profile, so we do have new support and we do have new resistance. We talked about that. Most likely what we'll see the NQ do is go run up into that bearish structured profile area. Now that's what it shows on the white background chart. Let me just check on the black one. As I mentioned, this profile has been shifting 17.810. Okay, so they're in sync right now. So this is a pretty good set of profiles when I have both systems that are generating the same signal. So what we should see out here, John, we can see that oscillator and change line changed colors from green to red. If price just gets up there being 17.810 and begins turning back down, that is a bearish message. Now, what would have to occur here is price would have to close below the bottom of that new profile at 17,252.70 to suggest that, in fact, we're headed lower. The Dow's been the strongest of the four indices out here, although right now today it's the Russell 2000. What I mean by that is the Dow was the one that first generated that TD9 count bottom pattern. And now price is targeting the 38,780 level. That's the top of its profile. If it can close above that, you can see the Dow rally up to 39,895. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. We'll finish taking a look at the Russell 2000 and anything else that you'd like to look at.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So as we were going to that break, I had mentioned the Russell 2000 is really the strongest of the 4 equity future contracts. And the reason that I said that is because if we get a close above 2,450, we'd have a profile change in trend signal. But the more important area to watch, and I referred to those oscillator and change lines, or we take a look at the ES, the NQ, and the Dow out there. So the key level here is a price close above 2011.10 out here today. That would be a bullish signal and suggests that you could see the Russell 2000 extend its rally up towards the 2114 level. But if price finds a resistance at that level, closes back below 2011, I'd say really closes back below 2,450, you'll have a fairly bearish pattern out there for the Russell 2000. But we want to take a look at what's going on intraday, at that stage of the game. But right now, watch that 2011 area for the Russell 2000 at day's end out there, and that ought to assist you. Now, let's go take a look at what's going on intraday. So let's go to some of these shorter-term time frame charts. Let's begin with the ES Mini. So what do we know about it? If you take a look at the 5-hour time frame chart, you've got a TD9 count bottom. Price is above profile. Where's its next battleground? 5120. Put that on your pad of paper. The 240-minute time frame chart is trading above profile, so it's got a profile change in trend resistance, but I don't have a target here for resistance, so we rely on that 5-hour time frame chart. And the same thing is true with the 120-minute chart. That has some A to B equal CD patterns to the upside, so if you did see a 2-hour bearish reversal candle, odds would favor you see a pullback. I'd say the time frame to really be watching for the ES Mini. Maybe it's for all 4, I don't know, but for the ES Mini most certainly is going to be the high of the day. The high of the day so far is at 5105.50. Why? Because on an hourly time frame, that was a TD9 count top. Should take price all the way back to its oscillator and change line, currently printed at 50.73. But if this market is very strong in its move to the upside, you'll see this TD9 count top get taken out, meaning a close above 51.0550 on an hourly time frame, and that'll suggest that we rally further. 51.2050 being that next target. Now, if 51.2050 gets taken out, then you're looking for that move, which we referred to and just take a look at the daily time frame charts up to that 51.39 level. We got a 15-minute TD9 count top pattern as well, so you can watch if price does pull back and tests and rejects that oscillator on change line at 50.90 or thereabouts right now. That would be a positive for that short-term time frame. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the ES Mini. There was a question that was asked earlier. I did find it, and then I lost it again. It was from Mr. Z inside the Tigers and SR. Will this launch extend off Friday's panic short-term low? So let's take a look at the ES Mini on its weekly time frame. And we take a look at the weekly time frame. What we know is that last week culminated in bar number 3 of consecutive moves to the downside. We know that typically you see a move anywhere from 1 to 4 bars out there. So it's not unusual that we're seeing price move higher. Now, the cool thing, John, to help answer that question, because it's not going to be me that's going to answer that question, it's going to be the charts that answer that question. And here what we can see as ES Mini for its June contract had a bullish structured weekly profile. We crushed that last week and traded well below that. The question is, do we close below that again this week on Friday? And that number would be 51.22. But what happens if price gets above 51.22? Well, the ultimate line of demarcation is really the center of that weekly profile at 51.56. That is where any counter trend rally, as long as price remains below 51.22 for 2 consecutive weeks, I don't know what Friday's going to look like, but if it does, then we would say that would just be its counter trend move up to that level. What happens if price closes about 51.22? Well, then that adds to the idea that maybe last week's move was a false move to the downside. I don't know the answer to that, but what we do know is we have the levels where we can identify exactly what the market is communicating to you and I out there. So that's on the weekly time frame chart. Now, let's go take a look at the NQ. The NQ, which doesn't have a daily bottoming signal out there, but let's go see what's going on underneath the covers out there. Maybe we can find something else. So let's get to the June contract. This is going to take a moment or two to populate out there. Sorry about that, but it is. But hopefully everybody got the chance to see some of the amazing hockey games last night. I mean, it was just fabulous, fabulous hockey. Great comebacks out there. How about the Nashville Predators? They were down 3-0, right? And they came back and won the game. That was and that Boston game. That was a great game out there. You know, I love playoff hockey. I mean, everybody brings their A game. Now, speaking of the 60-minute time frame chart, how was that for a smooth transition? You can see that right now the NQ, and again, we're studying the intraday charts. So the 60-minute time frame also had a TD9 count top, and price right now is trading above that. It's only 11.23. Don't know where it will be at 12 noon. But if you do see an NQ close above 17.599, even Steven, that's going to tell you about a strong upward momentum move for that time frame. Now let's go back and take a look at the daily. The daily, again, suggests to me it wants to target 17.810. 17.770 is what the 5-hour time frame chart is communicating to you and I. And if price can get above that, 17.968. In the case of the NQ, we can see that this move for its 4-hour time frame is more, or appears to be more than a counter trend rally. Why? Because price right now is traded above the center of its bullish structured profile, which price was well below for more than 2 consecutive sessions. That says a close at, this is 4-hour chart, close at 2 p.m. above the center of this profile at 17.535 should take us up to the 17.770 level. The 2-hour time frame chart says the next resistance battle for it is 17.746. I see a TD9 count top that looks like it may be negated in the next 6 minutes on a 15-minute time frame. In order to do that, you just need to see a close above 17.599. So I would say that the NQ charts, even though we don't have a bottoming pattern on the daily time frame, its intraday charts out here are suggesting that the rally should continue out there. Keep that in your mind. Let's go take a look at the Dow equity future contract as well. We'll just kind of finish off with that. We don't have really only one question I see so far inside the I see 2. Also Halliburton, HAL, which we'll take a look at. Absolutely. So thanks for that. HAL, we'll get that going. So now we take a look at the Dow equity future contract. Oh, I'll put that in the wrong spot. We take a look at this. what we see out here is that this may be, so its target right now, price above that red oscillator change line, is 38,780. And on a daily time frame, if price can overcome 38,780, I mean close above it, you could run all the way up to that 39,805 level. And that's the daily time frame. The intraday charts are going to have other battlegrounds. If you take a look at the 5-hour time frame chart, it is in the process of trying to take out its TD9 count top. If at, this is 2 p.m. as well, if at 2 p.m. you see the ES Mini trading above 38,682, well, that pattern will have failed to suggest higher price. Inside the 4-hour time frame chart, this is also a 2 p.m. close. It's got that same pattern out there. The 2-hour time frame chart is trying to take out its TD9 count breakdown resistance level. That's at 38,586. So close above that for a 2-hour time frame would be bullish. The 60 minutes, so it looks like all the 60 minutes have got these TD9 count tops. So for the Dow, in order to negate its pattern, it needs to see an hourly close above 38,737 out there. And the 30-minute chart has got a TD9 count top. So here you'd be looking for price to pull back and test and reject potentially 38,622. 625 is what it says right now, but it's going to trade a little bit lower if, in fact, price were to move back to the downside. So in the case of the Dow, we can see that it's up towards daily resistance and then several intraday resistance levels as well. So those are your equity future contracts, the ES, the NQ, and the Dow Equity Future Contract. When we come back to this break, let's take a look at RKT and HAL. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Tigers, the inaugural session of Live Trading Fridays with Larry Pesavento was a massive success. Trades were communicated, questions were answered, and money was made. Every second and fourth Friday of the month, from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, Larry wants you to join him as he places live trades and takes your questions. That's right, with this monthly subscription, you receive access to 2 live trading events. We are gearing up for the next session Friday, April 26th, so there's still time to sign up. For this month only, use code LarryLive at checkout in order to secure $50 off your monthly subscription price for as long as you subscribe to the service. We'll see you next Friday, April 26th, Tigers. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Rocket Companies. The ticker symbol here is RKT. And Dan, a question coming in from Dan. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart out here, because I'm looking for, was there a bottom? Was there support or anything like that? Do we have any kind of signal? So when I look at my daily time frame chart, I don't have anything as such. But when we look at the weekly, and this is kind of similar to yesterday. We had a call from Michael Niagara Falls where I think we were taking a look at NVIDIA and, it dropped like a rocket. Not to, play on words there. But what it did was it found support at the bottom of that profile. And as I said, pulling back to support can be a bottom. So on the weekly time frame, that's exactly what unfolded last week. You notice that it's a bullish structured weekly profile out there. So things are looking pretty good. We're trading above last week's high. This suggests to me that the rally should extend itself up towards that 1305, 1335 area. If we look at the daily time frame, what we did get yesterday was a profile change in trend signal. So that, in essence, can be a bottom. And now today, prices trade above that oscillator and change line. You'd love to see a close above that today, Dan. That's at 1229 as we speak right now. So I'd say a close above 1229 today is suggesting a move up to the 1305, 1335 level. That is on Rocket. Now, today is going to become day number 4 of consecutive moves to the upside. So what should we anticipate over the course of the next couple of days out here? Well, as we take a look at its chart patterns out here, we can see the typical 2-bar rally, counter trend move as this thing was moving lower out there. But typically this makes a 2, 3, 4-bar rally more often than not out there. So that says anticipate that you could see at least a 1 to 2 day pullback inside of RKT. It's not a guarantee, but I'd be then watching those intraday charts, such as a 30-minute time frame chart, for that signal. We don't have that signal as we speak right now. In fact, the signal we have is that price wants to move higher, and that higher price target for the 30-minute time frame is $12.66. We're at $12.39 as we speak right now. So Dan, if you need any additional information on RKT, just let me know. Otherwise, thanks so much for taking the time to post a request. And we could use a few more Denners out there. I've just got 3 more left here out there, and would just simply always love to take a look at what you want to take a look at. And the next request is to take a look at ticker symbol HAL. And this is for Joey D. Joe D inside the Tigers, and that is Halliburton. So what do we know about Halliburton? Halliburton had a TD9 count top. Took price right back to its breakout support level of 38.15. Yeah, closed below it for 1 day, but that was it. That was a false breakdown message out here. And now all that you've got out here, Joey, is a consolidation with inside its daily profile. So you've got really support. We're going to call it between 38.15 and 38.25, and resistance, which was already tagged this morning, is at 39.34. So you want to watch really 38.15 to the downside. You want to watch 39.34 to the upside. If you did close above 39.34, you've got oscillator and change line resistance that if price were to clear that level, currently printed at 39.73, that would then tell us that's headed back to its highs. When we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, I don't see a bottom, I don't see a topping signal out there. I just see price pulling back to test its oscillator and change line and the center of its profile. So that says that the 38.09 area is a key level to watch. We got 38.15, we've got 38.09. Finally, on the monthly time frame, no real news out there that we can take a look at. Let's look at Halliburton's intraday charts out here. As price is pulling back and testing support, are we seeing any kind of a bottom signal for its intraday charts? Well, you already have wave number 7, and that remains in place unless you see price spike below 37.87 out there. Let's look at a 65-minute time frame chart. We pull up the 65s. What do we have? We've got a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom with a consolidation with inside its profile out there. So you do have that bottom, but that was yesterday that where that started to take effect. And finally, on a 30-minute time frame out here, what do we see? Not much really to assist us. So the idea that Halliburton might be forming a bottom right now at the bottom of its profile, not getting a ton of great messages there, but still daily support is daily support until it gets broken. So Joe, I hope that helps you out. And thanks as always for the request. Mr. John in the Tiger's Den from Philly wants to take a look at light sweet crude. So let's pull up the light sweet crude contract and see what it is doing out here. And here, if we start with the monthly time frame, we're looking at the June contract. What do we know? We know we've got a good old-fashioned consolidation with inside its profiles. And that support level is at 69.98, but more importantly, resistance at 85.12. It's also got a TD9 count top out here. So, John, I would say that on a weekly basis, if the contract was able to close above 88.15, or this is a monthly chart, above 88.15, that would set up an A to B equals CD to the upside, and it would negate a TD9 count top. Right now, what we have is just a consolidation. The question was, is this the beginning of a new downtrend out there? That I don't know from the monthly chart. I just see a consolidation of price above that green oscillator change line. The weekly time frame chart shows a new profile that has formed. That new profile has support down at 79.85. I would say if price were to close below that profile level for 2 consecutive sessions, that would suggest that we head lower to 66.83. Whether that is the beginning of the type of downtrend that you were looking for, that's what the message of the markets would be. That's if we saw it close below 79.85. Likewise, if we see it close above 85.78, that's the top of its weekly profile. That would be a bullish message. Right now, we take a look at this without any kind of a topping pattern out here. Light sweet crude for the June contract for its weekly time frame is bullish as far as Stevie can see with regard to our tools. Now, the daily time frame, the July contract is attempting to form a new profile. This is bullish in structure. So you'd be watching 81.33. The buy zone is between 81.33 and 81.95. If price were to close below 81.33, it's not curtains. You would need, in order to get curtains out there, you'd have to close below 79.99. That is its TD9 count breakout level. So yes, it has a TD9 count top. Yes, it has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, but support, really key support, the most key support was its breakout level, never failed. So do we see some, it's a consolidation sideways for the most part as I see it. Now, if price is able to close above 81.95, if I already said this, my apology for saying it twice, what this suggests is a run up to at least that oscillator and change line. That is currently printing at 84.37, but more likely than not, it would get up to the 85.72 level. That would be the top of its profile. On a 30-minute time frame, what do we have out here? No topping signal. No topping signal on the 60. In fact, the 60-minute time frame is suggesting to you and I, if you can get 2 consecutive closes above 82.49, 2 consecutive, we're talking about hourly charts out there, that's going to suggest that we should continue to move to the upside. But there still is resistance that was formed by that bearish shooting star. So the price level that light sweet crude really has to get above on a 60-minute time frame is going to be that 83.01 level. That's a 60-minute. What else do we have out here? Not really much. Not much more. So is this the beginning of a move lower out there? You know, the weekly profile formed above the prior weekly profile. It's the daily chart that is the one that is of concern. But I have to say it's more of a sideways move as we speak right now than it is the beginning of a continued move to the downside. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go to our next request out here. This is coming from Hector and Patty. And Hector wants to take a look at the U.S. dollar for its 30-minute time frame. So if you give me a moment, should have had this set up. We're going to switch over to our black background screens. Then we'll come back and take a look at what's going on with regard to the primary currency pairs that make up the U.S. dollar index. Let's get to those black background screens. Let's go over to a 30-minute time frame, which was Hector was asking about. So here what we can see, we've got the U.S. dollar index in just simply an A to B equals CD to the downside. I think what Hector was referring to was really this bar out here at 9:30 this morning when the U.S. dollar index moved lower. But if we just simply step back and take a look at the patterns, price didn't get all the way down to the A to B equals CD projection level. That would have been at 105.42. Does it matter whether it got down there or not? No, but it still hasn't completed that pattern. You do have a new profile that's in place out here. 105.49 would be support on a 30-minute basis, and 105.67 would be your resistance. So do I think that the dollar is toast out there? Not necessarily, but why don't we do this? Why don't we go back to the white background charts and see what kind of signals we have from the currency pairs out there. So let's take a look at what we have going on. And we begin by taking a look at the euro on a daily time frame. And the euro, we've talked about this, it's got really two A to B equals CD patterns to the downside. It's got the larger one, that's in blue. And then along this C to D leg here, there is another one. So I'll go ahead and draw that in. So with inside that C to D leg, you take your A to your B point. The B point was clear, was that TD9 count bottom. I'll just simply go ahead and try this today again. Okay, and I'll move that over to the C point, and you can see this made the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, a little bit over the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD along that C to D leg. So now that gave us a buy the D point pattern. And what we see out here is prices traded above its red oscillator and change line. It closed today, Hector and Patty, above 106.7, likely leads to a further rally inside of the euro. If in fact that unfolds, we're likely to see the U.S. dollar index move lower. Now, if we take a look at the weekly time frame chart out here, it still has an A to B equals CD to the downside. And not unless price were to close above 107.86, that number is going to change, but that's the number on my screen right now, 1.0786. That's where any counter trend rally should run out of steam and find resistance. So right now, with the U.S. dollar index, as with a 57% rating in the of the euro out there, we should continue to see the U.S. dollar weaken. That's off the board if we see a close back below 1.067 today, that red oscillator change line on the daily time frame. The U.S. dollar Japanese yen wants to continue to weaken. That would put some strength inside the U.S. dollar index out there. So that's a little bit of an offset. It has an A to B equals CD to the upside. It has not completed. It needs to get up towards about the 156, 157 level. However, there is a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that has now been triggered. And therefore, if you were to get a bearish reversal candle, that would confirm on a daily basis a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now look at the weekly time frame out here. The weekly time frame shows that the yen should get weaker by moving all the way up into the 165 level. There's no daily topping pattern that we need to be concerned with at this moment in time. So longer term, this is saying that this wants to get weaker. That would put some strength inside the U.S. dollar index. Now, the pound out here generated really a great trading signal yesterday, and that was the TD9 count bottom, and today is completing that pattern. Now what we can see here is when you typically complete a bottoming pattern, price will make its way up to that oscillator and change line. Well, that's what it's doing right now. So what I don't know is if price is going to be able to take that out. But if it does, when I say take that out, that's at 1.244. Then what we're going to see is we're going to see the pound get stronger, but the U.S. dollar index get weaker. So we've got a little bit of offsetting factors here to take into account. But that's the bigger picture. And again, is the dollar toast? Is a 30-minute signal giving us that? I don't think so at this stage of the game. But right now, the question is really up to, I would have to say, the euro and the pound. Those are the ones with the widest bars. We don't have really much in the way of movement inside the Japanese yen out there. And if both of those can stay above, or at least close above their oscillator and change line, it adds the idea of the U.S. dollar index getting weaker. And then if we go back and take a look at the daily time frame chart for the U.S. dollar index, and I've got to go back to the black charts out there just simply because of data feeds that I have hooked up, or not hooked up, I should say. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index, and let's get back to, if I can find it. I know it's out here. Must have passed it by. Here we go. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. So here what we would expect or anticipate because of the daily, I'm looking at the upper left-hand chart out there, because it's a bearish structured profile. This just simply tells us if we get it close today below 105.78, it increases the odds of a pullback to 104.71. That's its signal. That would suggest that the pound and the euro would extend their rallies out there. Now, we can see also on the weekly time frame that prices run into resistance. That is the top of its profile and a bit of a descending trend line. So the real key area of resistance out here, Hector and Patty, is going to be at 105.98. If price is able to close above that, then we're likely to add higher out there. And longer term, the monthly time frame chart says eventually the U.S. dollar index should get up to 112.58 out there. And folks, when it does that, we should all go over to Europe and just have one heck of a time, because it'll be on sale as long as you're carrying U.S. dollars out there. So Hector and Patty, I hope that helped you out, or hope that answered your question with regard to the U.S. dollar index. And as always, thanks so much for taking the time to write in. Now let's go back to those white background charts and take a look at the next request out there, which was for Goldman Sachs. So if you give me a moment, we'll get over there. And I apologize, I didn't write down, was really multitasking. I forgot to write down who put in these requests. Doesn't matter. I believe the request was, hey, we're at all-time highs. What are the charts telling us? Well, the charts are telling us that if price is able to close above 419.20 on Friday, you're headed higher. Why? Because that would have taken out a TD9 count top. Now, this is a beautiful chart pattern on the weekly time frame from the standpoint that it confirmed a TD9 count top the week of March 29th. It completed that pattern the following week. When you confirm a top, it says you're going to get back to support, or you should get back to support, maybe break support. In this case here, on a weekly basis, price got into its bullish structured profile zone, 384.69, 388.52. There was nothing wrong. That's just normal price behavior out there. And now we can see that price is attempting to take out that TD9 count top on the weekly time frame. The resistance level, we're not a new all-time high, not just yet. That would occur if price is able to close above the November 2021 high, and that's up at 426.16. So that's the level to be watching. That is a bearish reversal candle. Why is that important to us? Well, it was also a TD9 count top that had held out there, but just simply because that adds a resistance level. So I think it was Michael P. that might have written in about that, if my memory, and it's not a great memory out there. So I would be watching at 426.16 level. Now, the weekly chart is saying shouldn't have any problems. If I open up the daily time frame chart, the daily chart looks very bullish, no matter how we take a look at it. So Goldman Sachs does look like it wants to continue to move higher, at least as of 11:49 in the morning. The next request was to take a look at NXE. And again, I forget who asked this. It doesn't really matter. Well, it matters to them. But what I see out here is I see a buy the D point pattern that likely went ahead, or a Gartley buy pattern that formed yesterday. But let me confirm that. Let me just move this A to B point over to the C point, and not exactly. Close, but no cigar. So what do we have out here? We've got prices trading above yesterday's high, and if it can remain above it and close above it, that being 781, you're likely to see a move up to 794 out there. Monthly chart still has a TD9 count top, but no levels of support have been broken. I don't have a topping signal on the weekly time frame chart. I just have a consolidation with inside its profile. So that's what I see. We take a look at NXE. When we come back from this break, we're going to go take a look at ticker symbol EXEL. I think that was for Mohammed. We'll be right back.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Two more requests as we close out the show. The first one is for ticker symbol EXEL. That is Excel Sync out there. Formed a TD9 count top. It did that on the trading day of March the 21st. Price pulls all the way back and tests its breakout level. Beautiful. That was at 22.24. I don't really have a bottoming signal, but it can be a bottom, just simply to pull back to that breakout level. You got to use these TD9 counts, folks, because they give you objective breakout areas out there. No questions asked. There's not anyone with inside the TFNN outfit that I know that would have selected 22.24 as where price broke out from. Now, what this is doing right now, Mohammed, it's trading up into resistance up at 22.52. If it can clear 23.52. If it can clear 23.52, it ought to go back up and test that swing point that formed that TD9 count top. In fact, yeah, and that's what you'd be looking for. As price gets into the area of 23.56, you'd like to see it do that with more than 2.7 million shares. Weekly chart is above its greenhouse under change line. That adds the idea of the rally. The same thing with regard to the monthly time frame. So everything looks pretty good right now, but 23.52 is going to be your next battleground out there. And to finish out the show, for Nicholas, we're going to go take a look at ticker symbol FOUR. I was hoping it was Four Seasons, but it's not. It's Shift 4 Payments out there. Nicholas's specific question was, did this form a TD9 count bottom? And the answer to that question is, it has not yet. It could tomorrow, it could today, but it's going to have to go ahead and trade lower. When I say trade lower, it has to tick below the low of bar number 7. That was April 19th out there, and that low is at 60.18. If price can tick below that, well, actually, the first thing that it needs to do today, because it's bar number 9, the first thing it's got to do today is close below 62.48. You're at 62.37. If it closes above that, the entire pattern goes away. But nonetheless, this is not a TD9 count bottom in ticker symbol FOUR. And the weekly time frame chart, it suggests that it wants lower price because it's both below its breakout level as well as its profile areas out there. The same is true, it looks like, on the monthly time frame suggests this could get all the way down to 47.85. So I'd be careful if you are long ticker symbol FOUR. Folks, thanks so much for joining me today. Please have a terrific Tuesday. I'll look forward to seeing you on wonderful Wednesday. Be safe out there. Again, thanks for joining us.